A lot of people don't understand battery capacity. You ask somebody, what's the capacity of your phone battery? They say 5000 mAh. Sounds easy, but it doesn't actually tell you the capacity of that phone. That number is useless without the voltage. If you don't know the voltage of your battery or your system, you cannot actually calculate the capacity. Let me give this example for a better understanding. Imagine a GP tank with one tap connected to it, and when you put a bucket, a 10-liter bucket in this tap and open it, it takes 1 minute for this bucket to get full. Then I ask you, what's the capacity of this tank? And you tell me it's 10 liters per minute. You see, that does not make any sense. You're just telling me the rate at which these tanks actually releasing water. For you to actually know the capacity of that tank, you have to then calculate 10 liters per minute times how long this tank can supply the water. So when it comes to battery, how fast the tank supplies the water is like the voltage. Then how long can supply this water is like the ampere hours or the milliampere hours. So when you're saying 5000 mAh, it's like telling somebody how long the tank can supply water, but you're not telling that person how fast it actually does it. So you cannot determine capacity by using either how long it happens or how fast it happens. You have to multiply these two together to actually tell the true capacity of your phone, your laptop, power bank, or whatever. So the true capacity is measured in watt hours, that's WH, just like charging is measured in W, that's watts. Let me take this one for an example. This phone is 5000 mAh, but that's not the capacity. Let's say it's 5000 mAh, but 3.7 volts like most lithium batteries are. So let's take for an example. This one is only 3.7 volts. But lithium batteries go from 3.2 to around 3.85 voltage. If you want to make the calculation, you're going to convert mAh to AH first. So let's do 5 times 3.7. It tells you 18.5. So it means that the true capacity of my phone is 18.5 watt hours. Your own phone might be 7000 mAh, but the voltage of your phone is only, let's say, 3.2. So we are going to do 7000 mAh, which is 7 Ah times 3.2. You see, 22 watt hours. You see, the gap is not that big anymore. Now let's imagine another phone battery that is 4000 mAh, but the voltage is 6 volts. 4000 mAh is 4, but voltage is 6. You see, it's going to have a capacity of 24 watt hours, which means this one, even though it's just 4000 mAh, it has more capacity than the phone that has 7000 mAh, the one that has 5000 mAh. This is just a hypothetical situation. So without the voltage, capacity cannot be determined. Another example here is this laptop here is probably just 5000 mAh or 5400 or something thereabout. But the voltage of the laptops operate at a higher voltage, so the battery is going to be around 12 volts. So 12 volts times that's 5.4, that's 5400 mAh, is going to give you 64.8 watt hours. So the capacity of this laptop is 64.8 watt hours. But if you only mention the milliampere hours, I ask you what's the capacity of this laptop, what's the capacity of the battery, you're going to tell me 5400 mAh. I'm going to look at my phone, I'm going to be like, the difference is small. So this laptop actually has a small battery, not as big as I thought. But in reality, the battery is actually more than 3 times bigger than the battery I have in my phone. You only think the difference is more because it did not consider the voltage. You only mentioned the amp hours or the milliampere hours, which is very wrong. It does not tell you the capacity of any device at all. Let's take another example here. So this power station right here, if you look at the manual, the capacity is 314,000 mAh. That's for mAh, but the true capacity is 1 kilowatt hours, 1004 kilowatt hours. That's the true capacity of this power station. So if you consider this 314 ampere hours, if I ask you the capacity of this power station, just tell me it's 314,000 mAh. I'm going to compare it to a power bank that is 30,000. This one can charge the power bank 10 times. If you say this power station can charge that power bank 10 times, in reality, it's going to charge it only about 3 times. Even though it's just 30,000 mAh, it's going to charge it only about 3 times. You're going to get about 360 watt hours. So this is 1000 kilowatts, 1 kilowatt hour, which is 1000 watt hours. That's what kilowatt hour means. Which means that power bank is just about 3 times less in capacity compared to this. But if you don't take into account the watt hours and you just look at the ampere hours, you're going to say this one is 10 times bigger. But in reality, it's not. In the same way, this is 340,000 mAh. Why? Because it's 3.2 volts only. Imagine if this was 48 volts. Let's say this battery, the battery in this power station at 48 volts. The actual capacity of this battery will still remain 30,000, which is 30 times 12. That's 1 kilowatt hour. That's if you adjust the ampere hours, of course, it's going to remain 1 kilowatt hour. But if you just look at the milliampere hours, it's going to be just 20,800. That's for a 12 volts battery. It's going to be 20,800 milliampere hours. So you look at it and you say, this thing it does not even have as much energy in it as a power bank. But that's a lie, because the true capacity, you have to multiply the ampere hours or milliampere hours by the voltage, which will tell you that this is 1 kilowatt hour, which is way more than your power bank has. So let's give another example to make you understand better. Imagine a 30,000 mAh power bank. The battery is just 3.2 volts. What's the true capacity? Okay, so you're going to do 30 ampere hours times 3.2 volts, which is 96 watt hours. And you compare it to your phone that is 5,000 mAh or 5Ah at 3.8 volts. Let's do 5 times 3.8 equals to 19. So while you are saying that power bank will charge your phone 6 times, the actual calculation will be 96 watt hours divided by 19 watt hours, which is going to be 5 times. See that the calculation tells you this power bank will actually charge your phone 5 times, because the real capacity is in the watt hours, not in milliampere hours. And that 5 times is still not going to actually give it back. Why? Because there are inefficiencies in charging and discharging. If you look at some power banks, you look at the body of the power bank, you're going to see discharge efficiency at 5%, 80%, 90%, depending. Because the power bank is charging or discharging, is losing some of the current. So let's imagine a power bank has a discharge efficiency of 80%. By pure calculation, it's going to charge your phone 5 times, but that 80% actually means just 4 out of 5, which means in reality, it's going to charge your phone 4 times. So there are a lot of factors that come in. It's not simple 1 plus 1 or 2 plus 2. You cannot really just guess. But you can actually come close to the calculation if you consider factors like voltage, true capacity of the battery, discharge efficiency for the power bank before you actually estimate how long it's going to serve you. So in the same sense, you can see a laptop power bank. On this body, you see 40,000 mAh, but it supplies 12 volts to actually be able to charge the laptop. So when you do 12V times 40,000, you're going to get around 480,000, which is around 480 watt hours. You have to convert the milliampere hours to amp hours. So you're going to get about 480 watt hours on that power bank. But if you compare this same power bank 40,000 to a power bank that is meant to charge phones that is 30,000, you tell yourself the difference is not much. Why is this one too costly? The difference is actually much, because this one that charges phone probably has battery voltage of maybe 3.7. You did 3.7 times 30,000, see it's not more than 100 watt hours. But this one has over 480, chasing 500. But if you look at the mAh, you think it's just 25% difference. And you use that to calculate and say this one is just a little bigger. It's not a little bigger. The true capacity of a battery lies in the watt hours, not the milliampere hours, not the voltage alone. You have to multiply these two numbers, the amp hours times voltage, which will tell you the watt hours of this of whatever system, your battery, your phone, your laptop, power bank, power station, anything at all. So before you complain next time about your power bank, your phone, even your charger, you have to understand these numbers and actually take them into account. And I hope you learned something new today. Subscribe for more videos like this one.